And good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to share that the National Conservation Foundation has accomplished a great deal this year. NCF's two flagship programs are the NCF Envirothon and the Next Generation Leadership Institute. Both of these aim to teach and develop future conservation leaders, and neither of these would be possible without the support of donors, volunteers, partners, and conservation districts. The NCF Envirothon is an annual international competition for high school students to prove their knowledge of natural resources. It serves as an accumulation of months of studying and dedication by more than 25,000 students who participate each year from the United States, Canada, and China. NCF is proud of the International Reach the Envirothon program, and I'm proud to announce that beginning this year, the island nation of Singapore in Southeast Asia is the newest member of the NCF Envirothon family. Starting this year, Starting this spring, Singapore Envirothon will begin educating their students about the environment and about conservation of natural resources through hands-on outdoor activities and experiences, including academic study and collaborative competitions, making this competition a success. This program would not be possible without all the volunteers, educators, district staff who give so much of their time and effort. From planning committee members, advisors, test writers, judges, trainers, and event organizers, and we appreciate all of this effort on your behalf. If any representative from the Ohio Federation or the Ohio Host Committee are here, please stand and let's give them all a big round of applause. Thank you. During the week-long event, 40 teams from across the United States and Canada competed in aquatic ecology, forestry, soils, and land use, wildlife, and this year's current issue of waste to resources. Students were challenged to consider the issue of waste management and its impact on our natural resources. They each create and present proposals for innovative solutions on waste management through restoration, repurposing, and recycling. At the end of the competition, over $40,000 in scholarship funds were presented to the top 10 teams. The teams from Lexington, Massachusetts was named champion of the 2022 NCF Envirothon. Round of applause, perfect. Rounding out, the top three were Rockville, Maryland in second, and Pinecrest, Florida in third. Congratulations to all these teams and the students for their hard work. You can tell by the pictures that have been going on behind me just how much joy the program brings these kids and how much it means to them. Even while studying and competing against each other, they have fun making and creating new partnerships and friends. Because of this program, when we think of NCF and the conservation, these are happy memories they recall, and this is invaluable. None of this would be possible without our sponsors. The top three placing teams were awarded $30,000 in scholarships thanks to Smithfield Foods. Smithfield is the largest corporate sponsor of NCF Envirothon. Smithfield's employees donate their time and expertise to the program each and every year, serving as volunteers at competitions throughout the United States. Please join me in thanking Smithfield Foods for their support. Thank you. The 4th through 10th place teams were awarded close to $10,000 in scholarships thanks to NCF donors, the National Association of State Conservation Agencies, the Nebraska Association of Resource Districts, and NACD's Presidents Association. Let's give them a round of applause also. And I'd also like to recognize NRCS for their ongoing annual program development and support. They continuously do so much of the work done to develop and lead the training sessions for the students. The Envirothon would not be possible without their support and their partnership, and a round of applause to NRCS. Thank you. I would like to also thank the U.S. Forest Service for their funding of the NCF Envirothon Diversity Enhancement and Underserved Audience Grants. These annual initiatives help states expand their Envirothon program through outreach to minority and underserved students. Your support in giving for so many students the opportunity to be involved in Envirothon, and we want to thank you, U.S. Forest Service. And finally, on behalf of NCF, I would like to especially thank you, all of you, NACD and the 3,000 conservation districts across the United States. District staff are often the first natural resource professional that all these students meet. Your efforts to train teams, to coordinate local competitions is invaluable to the students as well as NCF. You are greatly appreciated, and I give you all a big round of applause. Looking forward, we're excited to host the next NCF Envirothon competition in July 2023 at Mount Allison University in North Brunswick, Canada. Students will take on the current issue of adapting to a changing climate. This theme will give them a look into how changes in climate directly and indirectly impact forestry, agriculture, fisheries, energy production, mining, and tourism. As Envirothon teams prepare for this year, I encourage all of you to find out when and where your local competitions will be, volunteer to help, and you will witness firsthand how Envirothon challenges, inspires, and empowers our next generation. Your time, support, and knowledge of natural resources will undoubtedly help them become conservation leaders for tomorrow. NCF's other flagship program is the Next Generation Leadership Institute, or NGLI. This program was launched in 2019 with the goal of equipping leaders with the tools and skills to become national leaders through personal, civic, and organizational leadership development. NGLI prepares its cohorts to face the challenges of an ever-changing world. These graduates of the 2022 cohorts have solidified their place as conservation leaders across our nation. As only the second ever cohort, they have faced challenges while shaping this program with new programs to come. Through their backgrounds or widespread diversity, this group came together to face these challenges head on. The growth that they have each individually achieved this past year is largely due to the trust and confidence in one another, and their conviction that conservation is always a worthwhile effort. These rise of individuals to leadership positions began immediately upon acceptance into the program. As their responsibilities piled on, they dedicated more to the program and furthered their growth. They made each numerous personal sacrifices in order to give their all to this experience. I know that this level of dedication will continue to launch them into positions of leadership. The future of conservation needs leaders who know how to deal with change and uncertainty. These graduates are ready to rise to that challenge. We are excited to now announce the graduation of the second cohort of the Next Generation Leadership Institute. Will the cohorts please come forward as I call your name? Laura Boyd of the Hamilton County Conservation District in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Hi, everyone. I would like to take a couple minutes just to thank everyone who made all of this possible. First, I would like to thank my husband, Zach, who is here today. Without him, I couldn't have participated in this program. To Aubrey, Keith, and everyone at NACD, thank you for all your tireless efforts and commitment to this program. NGLI is successful because of all of your hard work. To NCF leadership and board of trustees, thank you for investing in this program. NGLI is integral into NACD's future success, and I think the return on investment is evident in the success of my fellow cohorts. To my local district and state association, thank you for believing in me. To my fellow cohorts, thank you for your encouragement throughout this journey. Thank you for accepting me, even if I order my beef well done. And NGLI is proof that people with different views can respect each other, learn from each other, and grow together. I'm thankful for the new friendships that NGLI has given me. This experience has exceeded all of my expectations, and I'm happy to be a part of an organization that is striving to leave the world a better place. One of the first questions we were asked when we began our journey was why? And when asked that question, I think, why not? One of my favorite quotes is from Dr. Seuss. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Thank you.
Next, Jennifer Casey of the Duval Soil and Water Conservation District in Jacksonville, Florida.
Good afternoon. People come to conservation district boards from all walks of life. My grandfather was a sharecropper who had 22 brothers and sisters. He couldn't read or write because he had to quit school to work on the farm. Living in the city and 2 generations from the farm, I became a teacher, elected to serve on a soil and water conservation district board. My fellow board members were a graphic designer, a security guard, a businessman, and a retired soil scientist. Our annual budget was a whopping $5,000 a year, provided to us through an Environmental Protection Board grant. But rather than just go through the motions and do what our board has always done, we journeyed out into the land of what if. What if we could take our annual Start Farming workshop and turn it into a year-long mentorship for beginning farmers? What if we included in our local working group nonprofits and groups working in local conservation? What if we forged non-traditional partnerships with our riverkeeper, our local zoo, the Native Plant Society, Groundwork USA, community composters, and foundations working with the disenfranchised at the heart of our urban core? What if we took a half acre of contaminated and neglected land and established our district's first demonstration project in 68 years? Together, with help from NACD and Friends of NAC, we did those things. We brought in over $130,000 in new private donations and grants in 18 months. As security guards and graphic designers and other non-farmers, we had a lot to learn. I was honored to be a part of that work, but now we're all returning to our careers and community now that our terms have ended due to changes in conservation district law in Florida. It reminds me that what is most important about our boards is that we have the opportunity to instill a conservation ethic in a variety of future leaders during their service to our districts. We have had board members who went on to serve in our state legislature, board members that stuck around long after their terms were over to volunteer, and those that went back to business. I'm running now for city council in Jacksonville, where we have the largest urban park system in the nation. But that conservation ethic will remain with me and with each of us. It's essential that conservation extends beyond the farm boundary and into communities, schools, homes, and government. I think the most important thing I will take with me from the next generation leadership experience is that as conservation district leaders, we have the opportunity to craft the narrative around conservation in our communities. We're uniquely positioned to do this. We bring people together, we build partnerships, we heal the land and heal communities. Thank you to NCF and NACD leadership for this amazing NGLI program. I look forward to continuing to serve alongside you in the years ahead.
Next, we have Jamie Irving of the Belknap County Conservation District in Meredith, New Hampshire.
So my mom believes me. So my being up here today started just over 5 years ago when my dad invited me to a dinner for an organization called the Belknap County Conservation District. I had no idea what that was. So I went, and he had me sit at this table with the director, or the chair of our local district, a woman by the name of Donna Hepp, a good friend of his. So I got to meet her, got to learn about what BCC did, and by the end of that dinner, I was basically a member. A couple months later, I was actually a full-blown supervisor. So it was about 8 months later, we lost my dad suddenly, and it was heartbreaking. I don't say that to become, to be a wet blanket here, but he got to see the trajectory that I was on, and that means everything. And I know that he would be delighted and so proud that I'm among the ranks of the people that are fighting the good fight, the people in this room. So for that, heartfelt thanks to everyone at NACD, NCF, especially Aubrey, Ray, Keith. The past year has been amazing. And a special thanks also to my fellow cohort. I mean, this past year would not have been as amazing as it was without them. So, thank you.
Next, Vaughn T. Poe of Hale County Soil and Water Conservation District in Sauterville, Alabama.
Good morning. My name is Vaughn Poe. I like cows. Goodbye. Well, that's what I wanted to do, but I was warned against that. I'll start, like everyone else did, by thanking the people that made it possible for me to be here. As you all can see, in Alabama, we have a strong delegation, and they believe in NACD. Yep. And I want to thank them as well. They did something that I can conceptualize in NGLI, in that they planted seeds. They planted seeds. That's why I'm on this stage. And I'm looking out now. I see Mr. Mickey. I see Chris, who was up earlier. Those folks believe in what we're doing here, and so they planted a seed. NGLI is a continuation of that. It really is. I would ask each of you to go home today and plant your own seeds. That's how this thing continues. We talked a few years ago about the need to re-energize who's out there and find new people. Plant seeds. We'll need them. The conservation discussions of the future are being asked now. Those questions are here now. We're wrestling with the Farm Bill in comparison to the IRA. The answers to those problems are in here. Plant the seeds, bring the ideas. Thank you all so much for allowing me to be here. The NCF board, thank you for your funding. NACD, thanks for believing in the program. I hope it continues. There are a lot of bright people out there that really have a lot to add to the conservation conversation, but you have to get them to the table first. Thank you for your time, and I still like cows.
Terry Prigg Grisby of West Multnomah Soil and Water Conservation District in Portland, Oregon.
Well, good afternoon. This is quite a full room, so it's so fantastic that we've been able to get back together in person after COVID, and so it's really great to see so many familiar faces and new faces. I'm really honored and proud to be part of something whose sum is greater than the individual parts. This year, I and my cohort members learned plenty about different conservation techniques and strategic planning, but most importantly, we confirmed that our work crosses generations, political divides, geographic regions, and that we're really all here to work for a better tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to continuing my journey as a leader. I will aim to be collaborative, inclusive, and hopefully inspirational. And I want to express my deep gratitude for Aubrey and Keith and Ray, and of course the NCF board and all of you that contribute to the NCF so that we can have this program. And as Vaughn said, we really do need to plant those seeds, but we need to build the bench for our future leaders. And I will do my part to try and support other new leaders to join the ranks and become part of this great organization. So thank you, NACD and NCF. Have a great afternoon.
Next, we have a fellow New Mexican, Josh Smith of Doña Ana Soil and Water Conservation District, Mesilla Park, New Mexico, or Las Cruces, New Mexico. Josh Smith.
That's not the music I would have chosen. It's truly an honor to be here this afternoon, to be standing in front of you. It's truly an honor to have been selected as part of the second cohort of the NGLI program. There's only 14 of us so far that know what this program really entails and what we go through and the crucible that we suffer through to come out the other side as future leaders. And we really need to grow that number. You know, I look forward to the new cohort, to helping where we can, to bring them along, and to grow the numbers of leaders that have gone through this NGLI program. I would like to thank the NCF family, NACD, for all the effort and the time that you all put into this program. It's been an unbelievable experience. I have to thank Brent VanDyke because he encouraged me to apply, and it's one of the best things I've ever done. So I look forward to taking these skills and putting them to use as I continue on my leadership journey. And again, I'm truly grateful to be here. You all have a great afternoon.
And last but not least, Samuel Grant Victor, Jr. of Ottawa County Conservation District in Upton, Oklahoma.
Good afternoon, and it's quite an honor to be a part of this group. And I'd first like to say I want to thank whoever had the vision years ago to think of this program and the importance of it, but more importantly, NCF, operating team, and our educational team in NACD for the great work that you do that gives opportunities to each one of us to become leaders and to learn and to grow. I want to thank Ray was instrumental in getting us started. Aubrey was amazing how she brought us all together. Aubrey would do backflips for us. The important part of it is when we came together and we started with that, and then we had other people come visit. Jeremy Peters came in and visited with us, and it gave us relaxation. But I got to tell you, a year ago when we were in Orlando, and we met the first time with other cohorts, face to face, I wasn't in my comfort zone. And I learned from that it's good to not be in your comfort zone, because if you're in a comfort zone, you're limiting yourself. Aubrey and Keith and their teaching and their instruction and everything brought us together. You see, we come from a lot of different backgrounds, and it's human nature for each one of us to be comfortable who we're with, who we're around. We're sometimes not comfortable when we're with people that don't look like us, don't talk like us, and don't think like us. But that limits our capacity to grow and to learn. And what we have learned here, and I'm so grateful for what NACD is, and I'm so grateful for our state leadership. But it all starts at our conservation districts. And I encourage each and every one of you that we be encouragers, that we see people, different people, start coming through our doors. And furthermore, I encourage you that we make these people that don't look like us, think like us, talk like us, become a part of us. Not only that they may grow, that may we grow with them. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm inspired by your commitment of leadership and your individual ambitions you've each expressed throughout your experience. On behalf of NCF and NACD, I thank you all for your time and dedication to look forward to seeing the amazing things that you'll do next. I have the feeling that it won't be long or the last time I see you up on this stage. Let's hear it once more for the 2022 NGLI graduates.